Adding musical expression to fills allows us to put our personality into the song. We have a lot of different drum beats, tons of variations, whether you're playing something a little more groovy, whether you're playing something more simple, or even if you're in different time signatures. Well, there's so many different ways that we can put ourselves into the groove. But the fills, that's where we can really put our expression, our artistic choices into the music. So many different iconic fills throughout so many different rock songs. I mean, even like Lars Ulrich, Enter Sandman, he has a fill later on in the song. I just absolutely love playing. It helps push the song forward. It goes like this. Nothing crazy, nothing hard, just a very simple 16th note variation, and I mean, it really worked. For example, like Final Countdown. We got also In the Air Tonight, so like all of those iconic, and we know those as drummers. We aspire to learn those kind of fills because they sound so big, they're epic. So this is where we put our mark into the music. For me, personally, I'm a fan of using bass drum. I'm a fan, like, for example, anytime I can put that in, I'm going to use it. I'm also very open with my playing. I love my 16-note variations. So I'm not gonna do anything crazy. I'm not gonna be like using different paradiddles, paradiddle-diddles, etc., different rudiments. I do. But I'm not going to always use those. I'm more of an open kind of guy. I like my bass drums. I like being able to move around. I also like my floppy flams. So we're not talking like military flams. I still got the accent. You got your taps. No, I'm going to be a little more loose with it. I'm going to have almost like a grace note. I'm not quite double stopping. Double stopping where you're hitting the notes at the same time. If I were to hit two drums. No, with this, the dynamic allows me to still get the flam opening up that sound, but it's a little bit more loose. For example, so if I were to play a fill, you can tell, like, here's my flams, here's my bass drums, here's my tom-toms. I'm not always top heavy. I got something going on. I'm giving it a little bit of flavor, a little bit of spice. So that's me personally, how I like playing my fills. In a song, I might use one of those instead because that's what I can contribute to the song. We're reacting to the moment. That's another point of adding musical expression. So even if it's a guitar solo, and let's say like I'm jamming out, the guitar's like wee da baba do baba do baba do baba da, and I'm all right. Like I might throw a fill in there. I mean, if he's going jaga do ga do jaga playing some 16th notes, I might throw some 16th notes in there. Or let's say like he's at the peak of it. He's like wee 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 wee. We're getting ready for the next section of music. Then I might drop off, put some really fat 16th notes on that snare drum right there to allow us to go into like the next section, or to let that soloist go even further, because sometimes we can help that soloist or section of music, the chorus, the bridge, wherever we're going, it can kind of go to the next level. So especially like in jazz music, if I'm just kind of chilling, doing my thing, and then we're going to go ahead and repeat that, they're going to go ahead and take another round, another riff with that, and then like, for example, like I might do some filling right there, go a little bit extra, set up the next section, make it big, drop off again, or stay big. It just really depends. I'm reacting to what's going on in the music. It doesn't make sense for me as a drummer to be really rocking out really hard if the vocals are really chill. Doesn't make sense. So we got to react to what's going on in the music. And also, we're supporting the song. We're supporting the feel. We got to make sure the fill fits the feel. So if I'm, for example, playing Green Day's Basket Case, so we have that lots of fast movement. Think of like the song, go ahead and think of the fill like that. Like that. if I'm playing like those punk rock kind of grooves right there, it makes sense for my fill to be fast just because the tempo of the song is fast. So I want to make sure that my fill, even if it's simple like that, fits what's going on. So if I go like, it doesn't really fit the feel of the song. So I got to make sure, or even my personal fill. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to play that, and I'm going to throw that fill in there. All right. That was kind of messy. It didn't really make sense. Having an open fill like that, where I'm playing all the different things with my bass drum, or even if I went like, it's not readable. Like as an audience, I mean, as you guys watching, like you probably couldn't really hear 100% what's going on. Like I was trying to do multiple things with my bass drum, and it's not as clear. It makes more sense if I'm going slow. Makes more sense to have a fill like that. But now if I'm going fast, I want to be fast. Makes a lot more sense to have a fast fill, just because rhythmically, you know, this is my 8th note, that's my 16th note. Makes sense for that to happen. So we got to support the feel of the song. I don't want to do something that doesn't fit the feel. It has to feel good, and that's in a completely different video. So just make sure you're checking out. I got lots of good stuff. I have lots of different videos on the purpose of drum fills, different it's lots of stuff, guys. I drop a lot of sauce. So just make sure you're checking out the videos. Make sure that you're adding your personality, your own musical expression. If you are someone that's just learning, continue to learn more fills. Learn from the greats. Pull up whatever music or genre that you're into. Learn those songs. Put those fills into your toolbox, and then start taking whichever tool you want out of that box. Adding personality, reacting to what's going on musically, and supporting the feel of the song will greatly enhance your fills.